how to understand the highly sensitive person in your life, either if they are your children, your parents, your spouses, your boyfriends, girlfriends, all of them or any of them, how to understand them. That's the subject of today. So hello, I am Mindy and welcome to my channel. If you're new watching, make sure to subscribe because I put 2 videos every week. Also, please like my video because you're gonna help me with the algorithm of YouTube, and you're also gonna show me that you actually like my content so I can come up with more content on this subject. Remember that I offer one-on-one sessions, so check the information down below. I can help you as a coach. And last but not least, I have a Ko-fi page where you can make your donation for my channel, and I really appreciate every help that you give me. So now let's dive in. Number one thing that you need to know and understand from now on is that they need alone time, and that time is vital because they're going to reflect deeply on experiences and their thoughts, whatever it is that happened in their lives. So the thing is, like, if they don't have that alone time, they can turn very moody or very sad, or they won't be balanced basically, and that can backfire to you in their relationship. So you won't have a very happy child, parent, spouse, because that time is vital for them. So even if it's hard for you to understand why they don't want to go all the time to the parties, why they don't need to go 3 times a week out just like you do, try to understand that the reason why they need that time is the exact reason why you love the time you have with them, because they're super fun, because they're very loving, caring, and they normally make feel people in the room like life is amazing. And this is just like the other polarity of the same. It's like, let's say, one coin that has 2 sides. So that's why they are just, when you're with them, they're happy and they give it all. But as much as they are happy and they give it all, they need the downtime, and that's just a given. So accept that and love them for who they are. Number 2, changes in their physical environments feel overwhelming, as you have no idea. And this is because the sensorial experiences can be too much. Of course, the highly sensitive person is not someone who will feel overwhelmed by every sensorial experience, but there are some experiences that are just overwhelming. So let's say changes in their environment. If out of a sudden there is a construction next door, for instance, that can be the end of the world because the noise can be just too much to bear for them. If you move things around in a house and it's a drastic change, they will notice visually, and that can create a clash in their overall well-being because their senses, they do not adapt just as like the other people's senses would adapt easily. And it's an emotional response what that creates. So be aware that what for you is like something small and minor, and for you it's nothing, for them it feels like the end of the world, just because, as I said before, they feel everything with more intensity. So take that into consideration. Therefore, they need a lot of time to adapt to a new situation, even though they are not aware of it. Let's say that the highly sensitive person moves to another city or to another town or to another country, and they can think like, this is very exciting, and it is indeed exciting for them. But as exciting as it is, soon after that can be just the end of the world in a way that they are not aware. But simply, again, what happens is the mood swings. They go from being happy to being sad. They don't understand why. They're depressed, they're grumpy, and this is because of the sudden changes of environment. So, for instance, if you are trying to move places or states or cities with your highly sensitive, make sure that this person gets a lot of time to downtime. First of all, a lot of downtime, and do not criticize them because they need that time in order to adjust. The highly sensitive person is someone who is very self-reflective, and it might look for you from the outside like they're reflecting on that they're processing, but most likely when they're moving, and I have done myself, I've relocated myself, and I needed a lot of downtime. My partner at that time, he couldn't understand that, and he would criticize me and say that I was lazy and blah blah blah, when all I needed was to just process the whole change and just let them have their own tempo and walk their own path, their own ways, and be a supportive partner for them, because they need really a lot of time to adjust to new situations. Next one, they need a lot of sleep time, and this can also confuse people. This can, for instance, make a parent think like their child is lazy, or also a spouse to think like, why do they need to sleep so much and they are not helping me with the children and things of that sort. So it is important that if the person in your life has been diagnosed as a highly sensitive person, that you understand that it is not their fault. It's not that they're inventing it, but they just need more sleep time. Me personally, I sleep every day about 10 hours. When I said this to my therapist for the first time, he was like, are you okay? And actually this very trait was what led him to think that I could be a highly sensitive person. Of course, there were more things that rang the bell. But the highly sensitive person uses a lot of resources in their body, in their mind, in order to process all of those emotions, in order to feel everything that they feel. Therefore, they need to recharge a lot. So understand that there is nothing that you can change. And maybe you can try to adjust your lives around that fact instead of fighting against it. So make them feel loved, make them feel understand. And this is me saying this like a person who has suffered of that. And lastly, and this is just a conclusion of everything, they just feel everything very intensely, and everything is just, as I said at the beginning, or super amazing or super sad, and they can change from one mood to the other because of the external sensorial experiences they've gone through. This is something personal that I would advise to someone who lives with a highly sensitive person or who has a relationship with a highly sensitive person, is to let them feel loved for who they are. Just appreciate that. Do not criticize them because they switch from one mood to the other, or because they need more resting time than what you do or than what your other children at home do. Just don't do that, because the highly sensitive person's life is already hard enough for themselves. I guess most of us many times have desired to not be highly sensitive because it's really overwhelming, because, you know, it seems like if you're not an introvert and you're an extrovert, it seems like you are in between being an extrovert and an introvert, and you don't feel you understand yourself. If you're an introvert yourself, well, you can maybe manage it in a better, easier way than those who are extrovert just like myself. It's hard to understand what's going on with yourself, and I think life will be better, easier, and maybe calmer and more balanced as well if the highly sensitive person would have a network of people who supports them and they feel loved because of who they are at their best and at their worst as well. So that's my advice for all of you who have a highly sensitive person in your life. So leave your comments below, please, and share with me how is your experience with your highly sensitive person, and if you think that what I'm telling you in this video will help and strengthen your relationship with them. That's all for now, and see you next time. Bye.